I'm going to do a little crack of the matrix for you if you already don't know this stuff. The matrix I'm referring to is just the system set up for a person to live in from beginning to end that manipulates his thoughts and also his actions to an extent or various extents. Okay. Now I just ripped on the medical area, but I want to point something out. The word, the thing about war against the virus, as you probably know, you see a war. They're using that word war in the media, and politicians are using the word war against the virus. As you probably know, they're trying to bring the sheeple into a state where they will accept certain actions they normally would not accept. That they normally would not accept. And they're using as the troops, because you got to have something to look at, you see. They're using as the troops. They're saying the medical people are the troops in this war. And then you have an invisible enemy, you see, that you can't do anything about, you see. It's just the old system of sheeple and the sheepherders, the sheepleherders. These politicians who use this stuff, they may have been told or are intentionally in on it that they can use this thing called war and the statements of war against the virus and the medical people being the soldiers, the front lines in this war. They either know it, what they're doing, or they're being manipulated by somebody else. Because, you see, they have been told that you can do this in order to get things that you want to help the overall good of preventing the virus growth, or that they're in on it to try to grab more power and make it more the people more under their boot, or under the boot that who they're working for, the globalists, the would-be slave masters of this planet, or to an extent they are already. And they manipulate governments, they manipulate billions of people, their actions. They can change so much. And the media, of course, is just saying what they're told to say. I saw an interview of Pence, Vice President Pence, and he was insulted by the reporter's question about that. How do you feel about the fact? Do you feel guilty or something like that? You did not act earlier on this virus or something. That these people died. Now Pence, I think he didn't show it too well, but he wasn't very pleased about that question. But he should understand that it wasn't really the reporter who was asking that question. The reporter was told to ask that question. So Pence, he has to understand that he's going to get these kind of questions, these nasty ass things, to try to get results that those who want certain results. That's why I'm trying to say is these questions are given for those reasons. The reason to get certain responses to help shape the population, the viewers of these interviews, to shape their opinions and to an extent their actions by what they see of these interviews. So he shouldn't be. He should. I mean, my viewpoint is he should expect this, because they're not friendly. They're really not. They're just little puppets. It's called the talking head. Well, I call it a talking puppet, and you mostly just see the talking head puppet or something. You know, a suit and a head. and they know they better obey their masters, and or they won't be working there. They won't be interviewing the vice president. They won't be. They'll find some other person who will obey. So, in case you didn't already know this, I figured I'd point this out, and I don't like it that they're. This is my personal thing. It kind of upsets me that they're trying to call this a war, and the troops. They're anyway. But I wanted to crack the matrix a little bit for you if you don't already know this. This is a perfect example of the sheeple, who actually are sheep, being controlled by the sheepleherders. And some of the sheepleherders do not necessarily realize, I think they don't, realize that they themselves are also sheep of the real sheepleherders that are manipulating them. It goes much deeper than people might think, especially if you only watch CNN. CNN is put there it's a way to control an ABC and etc. So, and I don't think the people who are doing this at the top may feel that they're doing the best they think is right to do. Or, I mean, when I say the best, I mean either best for them, or they think the best for humanity, or a combination of all of it, or both things, or the fact that they have their intentions, and it's probably different. It may differ from person to person about this. And of course, if you go into it pretty deeply, since they have probably all of the connections to see all the alien spacecraft and other things that they have found on this planet, and they have captured and etc. And all they have the knowledge of what's really going on outside of this planet, with probably settlements on Mars and what's on the moon and etc. They have a bigger view of things, you see, because they're not lied to all the time. They can see the ship themselves, that it's not from Earth, you see. They can see the alien body that's still preserved. They can see these things. They probably have. And they have their ideas what should be done. So, like I said, the sheeple and the sheepleherders. End of talk.